Sir, I could squire for you, and you could teach me. Every knight needs a squire, and you look like you need one more than most.
What's this?
It's a hedge knight, ain't it?
What?
It's like a knight, but sadder.
We're not sad.
It's very cool to see a more humorous side of the story of Westeros. What was it like for you guys to get to be a part of that and play into that?
Yeah, it was really fun to go a different way, and I've always really wanted to do a comedy project, and this is the perfect thing, 'cause it's not like fully comedy, but it has those moments, and like when Dunk's walking through Ashford and he bumps his head, or the guy thinks, "Are you Baelor Targaryen?"
No.
Then would you move the out of the way?
It makes it what the show is, and without the comediness, it wouldn't be the same show. It would be just really different.
I started out in this doing kind of sketch comedy and stuff, so it was something that I was able to bring to this and probably helped me with getting the role, and I'm so glad that they had those moments where we wanted to lean into the kind of humorous aspect of things, because I knew that I'd definitely, after a couple of takes, be able to do them justice for sure.
What's your name?
Sir Duncan the Tall.
Never heard of him.
Do you know every knight in the Seven Kingdoms then?
The good ones.
I don't think it wasn't necessarily a conscious decision to make it more humorous than it appeared so on the page. But you know, I think maybe there's something kind of subconscious about the casting or the way it's written, or it can be quite violent. And I'm sure there is a kind of need for some kind of gallows humour to balance all that out and to give the show a kind of levity so the audience isn't exhausted by the kind of threat and danger of the violence that exists between these central characters. So I think it's about finding the balance of your creation and also just that's where the identity of the show felt kind of obviously to the people who were making it. So I think it's evolved into this what you see, and I think it's great.
If you could bring me to Ashford, I could squire for you, sir.
Rob me, and I'll hunt you down with dogs.
You don't have dogs!
I'll get some.
Where?
Oh!
I think my favourite thing about Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon is the kind of political stakes that are introduced into those worlds, and the lengths people will go to capture the throne. The absence of that in A Night of the Seven Kingdoms is also my favourite thing about our series. It's a chance to look at that perspective from the smaller side of Westeros and somebody who's not part of the noble houses. He's kind of like an everyman, and that's really nice. It's a good change. And there's lots of toilet humour in it, which we love.
At this point in the world's history, I think we all need a laugh, don't we?
Not the truth.
And we need a story about... one of the things I like about the world that George R.R. Martin created is that it's recognisably cynical, but I also deeply appreciate that there's a space in it for heroism and champions, and that at the end of the day, there is such a thing as goodness. Those two things aren't mutually exclusive. I think we recognise that to be true. The world is full of hard, bitter truths. But there is also the possibility that leaders can do the right thing, and that truth matters, and that ordinary people make a difference. And these are stories that need to be told. It's an old story, but it's one that we shouldn't stop telling.
Why do you treat these royal lapdogs like they're your betters?
They are my betters.
These men have a name. I'm trading. What chance do I have? I have no chance.
I think that it's reflective of the books, and it's like a really faithful adaptation of the novellas that George R.R. Martin wrote, and in a way, when you're going to expand a world like this that people have seen and people are in love with, you've got to keep reinventing it and keep finding new reasons for people to stick around. And I think, House of the Dragon did that really successfully by focusing in on the Targaryens and all the incest and the dragons and all that good stuff, and we're kind of presenting these two characters who are feel like a kind of new flavour. You know, Dunk and Egg. Dunk is a hedge knight. He's not highborn. He's like a little scratty guy. He's a huge scratty guy who sleeps under a tree, and it's a much more singular narrative. You know, jumping in and just like following these two on their adventures.
Sir Ireland raised me to be a true knight, not with sword or lance, but with honour. And I swore that I would.
For me, I was just so blown away by the size of the set and all the attention to detail, and just from working with great cast and crew, and I just felt really honoured to be a part of something really special.
Huge amount of pressure, I guess, for me. It's stepping into that, not just because of the array of talent that has filled those roles in the other series, but and the ones in our current series. Very, very, very lucky to be part of it.
Boys, stop gaping. See to my horse.
I'm not a stable boy, my lord.
Not clever enough.
It's nice to kind of go back to somewhere that feels familiar, but be seeing it from a very different angle. Like you say, the story has a very different register, I think, to the Song of Ice and Fire. It has a different tone, and I really enjoy spending time with these characters, which in a slightly unexpected way. It has a kind of fond quality that I think is really refreshing, and it sort of feels like the kind of indie movie cousin of the main franchise, which is nice.
I do think it adds to the sort of richness and the individuality of this show in comparison to the other shows, for sure. While it still has that Game of Thrones aspect of, you know, the risk and the terror and the violence, and it's nudity as well, a little bit, yeah.
A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms taking fans back to Westeros with a new take on the Game of Thrones franchise as Hedge Knight Sir Duncan the Tall looks to make a name for himself.
So, Sir Duncan the Tall. How good a knight are you?
You'll see. It's this way. Came for the tourney?
Tourney is a contest for knights. You a knight?
I'm no farmer.
Yet you've come dressed as one.
Yeah, no Iron Throne here, but a host of new characters, straight from George R.R. Martin's beloved book series.
If I could call myself a champion, some great house might take me into its service. Perhaps even House Targaryen.
Targaryens, they're incestuous aliens and tyrants.
In terms of the Targaryen madness, where would you rank Prince Aerion? Is he more of a Daenerys or a Daemon, would you say?
0 to 10, 10 being very mad, I'll go 9. So that's a Daemon, right? Pretty bad. Mad, I don't know. Embarrassed and rageful? Yeah, maybe. The more interesting thing for me was trying to find how to empathize with him, because that was difficult. And being like, what makes him, what makes violence and cruelty so attractive to him? And trying to ask those questions and working them out with Ira and Owen and Sarah. Yeah, it was interesting.
Sir Duncan the Tall. Aerion would like your head.
Maybe the gods figure this is what I deserve.
Come out, little knight.
And so, I ask you again, how good a knight are you?
Game of Thrones is known for their big action scenes, but it's also known for its cutthroat politics, and you play the hand of the king, of course. So what kind of co-ruler would you say Prince Baelor is?
I think the proof is in the pudding. What kind of a ruler he is happens from one moment to the next, and I was interested in not knowing for as long as possible who this man is, which way the chip's going to fall. That way it becomes exciting and dramatic. And I want to believe when I meet him that, like a silverback gorilla, he might rip my arms off, or he might protect me. And I don't know which it's going to be. And I want to not know, and like he doesn't know from one moment to the next. And that he chooses what we might regard as the right thing is deeply welcome, but it's not a given. That's what I think.
What was it like for you to step into this world?
Oh, it was, I mean, what a gift to be led into such a incredible franchise that already has such a dedicated fan base and so much lore and, you know, so much history. So I feel very honored to be given a role that, you know, was written before I was even born.
I know I'm just a hedge knight, but sometimes I think there could be more.
Tanzyn was like a separate little kind of storyline, a calming of a lot of intense male energy, you know. So it felt maybe I had a different experience on set because my scenes were just kind of chill and calm, and you know, until later on. So yeah, I just like that aspect of her character, that it doesn't all have to be go and big, that she can just be quiet and simple, and it's just as strong and compelling as Dunk's hugeness.
I need to fight honorably, but sometimes I think I buried my courage alongside the old man.
And in every man, there are many men. So be brave. Be just. Be tall.
I'm curious to know how your rugby background, Peter, played into your adapting to all the action scenes in this series.
Yeah, I think the rugby background is like, I suppose, like just with stunts and different things, it probably makes it easier to take a fall and have a sort of a bit of a hardiness to you for taking hits and different things. And as well as that, we had a lot of, you know, different things like rain machine stuff to do that were quite intense and rough, and
they were hard, yeah.
Yeah, they were hard, and you know, we were out in some pretty bad weather conditions too, and you do get used to that. Rugby's a winter sport. It's played in the winter in Ireland, and you know, the combination of the physicality and dealing with those wintry conditions probably did contribute. I've taken a lot of things from my time playing rugby for sure that have definitely put in towards this career. It gives me a better appreciation for everybody's job. You know, you're coming from a teamwork environment, and it gives me such a massive appreciation for everybody's job in front and behind the camera. So I've taken a lot from it, but I'm a lot happier with what I'm doing now, that's for sure.
What type of training did you guys have to go through to prepare for these roles, if any?
Horses,
combat.
Those were the big two,
yeah.
I reckon.
Classic training.
Yeah, we did horses in the morning, combat in the evening.
Yeah.
Day to night, we were in a boot camp. Really, it was. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it
was like whenever we had like 5 minutes on set, we would just like grab a couple of sticks and. Yeah.
Your own form of training.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
I learnt some cool puppetry. That's one. I mean, I have like a little bit of theater experience. I felt like I maybe improved my theater game a little bit. And I got to do some like fun stage choreography and of course some like stunt choreography, which is like relatively new to me. I've only done like a little bit in the past, so all of those skills were great. I learned how to like walk around in mud without getting everything soaked because everything was incredibly muddy. How to be very light and not like clump around. So just very practical skills, a lot going on.
The big skill that I picked up was making sure I had a nice comfy chair to sit on while my stunt double worked his ass off.
You're amazing at that.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
I am much. Yeah. You know what? It's such a huge operation putting one of these things together, and like it always blows your mind when you get to set and you see these sequences of action that have been put together over weeks and months, and you feel a little bit of guilt that your character looks so badass.
Yeah.
And you're just sitting there, drinking a Coke Zero.
Yeah. So you've learned in this show to admire the work of Stunts.
Correct. Well, no, I mean I already admired the work of Stunts.
You were there. So
relax
sorry.
already.
Game of Thrones fans are so passionate. How are you guys kind of preparing for the fandom that is to come with this series?
We're trying not to think about it too much, and we don't really know what's coming. But I guess in Brazil and New York, we got our first taste of the absolutely huge fandom, because I knew it was a big project, and we both knew it was like out of this world, and we couldn't believe we got it. But we didn't. I still don't realize how big all the fans are and everything, and it's crazy. Like when I was in Brazil, everyone was chanting my name. Going, hey, yeah, gang, and can I get a photo? Can I get an autograph? And it's mental, because I'm just a kid. Like I'm just 11, and I started acting, and then I just carried on doing things, and I got myself a big role, which was great for me, and I didn't realize this could also come with that.
Yeah, it's I think it's really good to be in kind of the nice early stages of filming season 2 now, so that
get
like
out of it.
when we get back next week to Belfast on Monday, we're in and we're busy doing something, and it'll be. I'm really, really nervous, and I was a huge Game of Thrones original series fan, so I know how passionate people are of it, and it is a terrifying kind of prospect.
When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die.
But it'll be great to be working and trying to do justice to the Sworn Sword while all that craziness is occurring, for sure.
One word to describe season 2.
One word to describe season 2. A bit more action for Egg. I know it's not one word, but...
Oh wait, sorry, that was the first one. Oh sorry, that's what you meant by season 2. Oh, one word to describe season 2. Hot. And not in the like good looking way, like literally hot. The temperature is incredibly hot, yeah.
Has courage deserted the houses of Westeros? I will not believe in his soul! And there no true knight among you!